What's up, everyone? This is Gungjo, and today I'm back with another Apex Legends video. And I know it's been a while since I posted anything, and I know in one of the previous videos I said I'd be posting less about Apex Legends, but I guess I just haven't really felt like posting anything at the moment. I've been focusing on my work a little bit more often. At the same time, we've had this new map ship in Apex Legends. Olympus has been a lot of fun, and it's made me come back to the game here and there. So I've been playing Apex Legends again, and I've been kind of thinking about the game a lot more again, and thinking about some of the changes that came with this season. And one of the biggest and most controversial changes that came with this season was the Season 7 Battle Pass. And I think everyone, quite rightly, has been complaining that the Battle Pass just requires way too much of the player's time. For me, personally, I don't really worry about this. I'm not really sure why. Maybe I'm just a bit more happy to not get everything, if that makes sense. Maybe I'm not pulled in quite so much by that fear of missing out on something. But if I don't finish a battle pass, I don't really get upset about it, or I don't really worry about it. But I know some people are pulled in a lot more than others. And people are saying that they've made the battle pass especially grindy, kind of as a means to get people to look at the kind of paid alternatives. Or on the other hand, just to make them play like a huge amount of time. As I say, like, recently I purchased one of the Destiny Battle Passes, and I think I got to level 7. And I don't really feel bad about it. I had a bit of fun with the kind of exotic that you got immediately for buying the pass, and then I just forgot about it. And the Battle Pass wasn't a lot of money, so I didn't feel too bad, and I guess I knew what I was getting into with that. But at the same time, I do think, obviously there are people that, that are coming back to Apex each month, or each season, and wanting to just see the new content and then move on to other games. And I think these live service games in particular are demanding way too much of people's time. Not just, because you have too limited time to achieve that thing, like I think some people do with their work schedules and things like that. But even if you want to invest a lot of time in gaming as a hobby, it's nice to actually be able to play other things. It's nice to be able to check out, the new Uncharted, or the new God of War, or I don't know, what's something upcoming. Maybe you want to play like Cyberpunk for 100 hours. You don't want to have the idea of an Apex Legends Battle Pass hanging over your head while you're doing that, right? So the idea of being able to kind of purchase the Battle Pass, it offers some progression incentive, but it's not going to feel like work, I think that's something that players want from it. So it was the right thing to do for Respawn to kind of turn back the clock and make the Battle Pass easier to progress through. At the same time, I think there were two issues that Respawn were trying to address with that Battle Pass. One was kind of the one we've discussed already, which was probably they were trying to get more money out of people, like realistically. They were probably trying to incentivize those paid upgrades, kind of when you get to the end of the season, you're level 70, maybe you'll spend $20 to finish off the season or whatever. And I'm sure that that's what they were thinking as well. But the other big thing that I think is a problem with Apex Legends, and the other big thing that I'm sure Respawn were trying to address, is the fact that Apex Legends has this pattern of disengagement where, 6 weeks into the season, 6 weeks into the 3-month period, a lot of players are done with the Battle Pass. And to be truthful with you, all of the streamers are done with the Battle Pass. And that then, some of the streamers just buy the full pack outright, or I don't know if they're given it or something, but they tend to have them pretty early. But in any case, the majority of the highly active community gets 4 to 6 weeks in, and there's nothing for them to do. Like, yeah, sure, you can play ranked, so that is one thing, another avenue in which you can progress. But you can also play ranked while you were playing, while you were doing the Battle Pass. So some people might have already maxed out their rank for that season and not really care about the animated badge for doing it 2 times over. What is that? Like, and it's a very small reward for doing, to putting in a tremendous amount of work. You really have to have an intrinsic motivation to want to keep playing ranked and to want to keep playing Apex Legends, to want to do something like ranked 2 times over. In any case, aside for ranked, what is there to do? Like, shoot for badges, like increase the numbers on your trackers. It's not exactly very compelling, and I think that is the big problem with Apex Legends that maybe Respawn were thinking they would address in this Battle Pass update, or at least partially address. And I think it's the wrong approach, but I think it does, warrant some discussion about this broader issue in that Apex Legends really needs more stuff to do. It needs, if you think of a game like Call of Duty, like think of Call of Duty Modern Warfare and its Battle Royale component, right? So you have the seasonal passes and you have the kind of weapons you can unlock and the weapon skins and the character cosmetics and things like that. But on top of all that, you have challenges for every gun, like camos that you can unlock, all sorts of extra little things that you can do, and they are infinitely more in-depth than what's offered in Apex Legends. And there's nothing you can unlock for your weapons in Apex Legends. There's nothing you can really even see in Apex Legends that you can unlock via play. Like, I guess the only thing you can see, so the only thing you can kind of really feel in the gameplay is the trail that you get for playing in ranked, right? That's what you could work towards after you finish the battle pass. I suppose unless you still have some loot boxes left when you're kind of a pre-level 100 player. But for the long-term players, there's really nothing to do here. In other games, like I say, Call of Duty have the challenges. You also have private games in Call of Duty. You also have kind of a way in which that you can kind of make your own fun with your friends, and a way in which you can kind of make your own game modes and practice, and if you want to, you can really start getting more competitive in those kind of private lobbies as well. You also have lots of different like actual game modes and maps and play styles in that game that you can mess around with. So obviously that's going to keep people coming back to play in the longer term, and Apex just really doesn't have that. I know recently they did say they were thinking about ways in which they could expand Apex beyond Battle Royale, and it will be really interesting to see what that is. But I think at the moment, that problem with long-term engagement, that issue that they were trying to address with the Battle Pass, it's a real problem for Apex Legends, and it's going to be a real problem until they find a solution. Again, if we look at other games, even something like Fortnite, it's got custom maps, private games. Heck, you could play Save the World, you could play the single-player campaign and do some cooperative play while you wait for the next season. There's just a load of ways that you can engage with and play that game that really aren't featured in Apex Legends. And the same is true for almost every online multiplayer game that I can think of. Just even private games, even the ability to kind of create your own thing and have fun with your friends is just not represented in Apex Legends. Like even something like Rogue Company, which I think is semi-popular, but not really, it hasn't really blown up, right? Even that features private games. And I appreciate, this is a 60-player game, so letting everyone create their own private lobbies and whatnot comes at a cost. So maybe that isn't the right solution for Apex Legends. But at the same time, you used to be able to create your own servers in Battlefield, and there's plenty of games that I can create my own lobby in that supports a load of players, right? And Apex is a big game, so I don't really see why that couldn't be possible. In the Battlefield games, they used to let you rent servers as well, so you kind of had to pay something to kind of have the privilege of having your own custom games. But to be honest with you, I would even be happy with that. Maybe season pass holders exclusively can make their own custom games or something like that, I think that would be fun. And I think given that there's so many maps and there's such a large array of maps, you could really, given the right tools, you could really make some fun and interesting game modes in there. But that's just one idea. The other one is kind of, weapon challenges and things like that. How about character challenges that can actually lead to cosmetics and colors and things like that for people to unlock and people to kind of shoot for when they're not driving for the season content? But that's basically what I think is a big problem in Apex Legends at the moment, and a problem that isn't addressed with the change to the Battle Pass, because we're going back to the system where, yeah, you can unlock it really quickly. Fine, great. I think that's the right decision for the Battle Pass. I don't think you should be tied to this thing that you paid for, that you have to put a tremendous amount of work in to get the content out. I don't think that's right. So I think that in terms of the Battle Pass, it should have this kind of quite fast cycle in which you could unlock your content. But I think that was really only a band-aid to a bigger problem in Apex Legends anyway. Like Respawn tried to slow down the progression of the Battle Pass as a weird means of kind of, I guess, artificially making people feel that they had more to do when they just had the exact same amount of things to do, but they dragged it over a longer period. And inherently, that's going to be less rewarding. Like the community reaction is not especially surprising, given, if you lay it out like that. So hopefully in the future we can see some more features from Apex Legends and some more development of different ways to play, I think, and different ways to reward play outside of the seasonal content. Because if they're not going to provide that, then they're going to see this constant cycle of disengagement. And the problem is that some of those players do not come back, right? Some of that churn is just, that group of players is lost. Like, they will not look at trailers. They will not be incentivized to come back and play. A lot of players, you know, they put a game aside, and even if they see something cool in a trailer, I used to play a lot of Rainbow Six Siege. Occasionally I watch Siege trailers and think, oh wow, that was cool. But I'm not going to go back because I feel that game's behind me and it would take a lot of investment from me to get back into it and get into that mindset. And I think once you've lost a player in a game like Apex Legends, there's a fair chance that, you know, you're never going to get them back. So yeah, they really need to think about what they're going to do for a long-term appeal and engagement outside of the Battle Pass. And that's basically what I wanted to say on this topic. I'm going to be putting out some more videos. I'm going to be putting out some kind of map impressions. I'm going to be putting out some, probably a weapon tier list, and maybe a character tier list, and some things I wanted to do in the past, as well as a lot of other content for just PS4 and soon PS5 games, hopefully. This has been Gungjo, and I hope you enjoyed the video.
You are the Apex Champions.